What's going on, people? I gotta get this video out. A little quick, a little pressed for time, but my name is Zach. Um, I'm just gonna get right into it. Okay. I have some interests. Maybe you do. Mine are weird. Maybe yours are too. I like things like astral projection. I like talking about lucid dreaming or psychic phenomena or the supernatural. Like Supernatural is one of my favorite TV shows. Like I gravitate towards those type of things. Harry Potter, like magic, and so when I figured out there was this thing called metaphysics, and they asked some of the same questions I would like to ask about the universe and how things work, I was pretty interested in. I have a very a kind of obsessive personality. I obsess over basically anything I get interested in, including this type of stuff. Like I get so interested in it that I ignore everything else. I put a lot of time into researching, coming up with my own thoughts. I've never put out a video like this before. I put out other things, but this is some real life stuff. For some years, I've been doing this thing, like I talk to people, whether they're interested or not, about certain things, and I get looked at like I'm nuts, like on a day-to-day basis when I'm at work. Like, you can't talk about this shit at work, bro. They'll try to get you out of there. Like, you'll get some strange looks and comments about your beliefs if you're interested in things like I am. So what I figured out what I'm doing, even though I know that these people are not interested, I know that these people don't grasp what I'm saying. So I talk to them anyway, and what I realized what I'm doing is I'm basically bouncing words off of them to make sense of them for myself. So I figured, why not bounce the words off of y'all, get some input, but this is the way I can talk freely, not worry about getting looked at funny. So, I've been trying for some years to do things like astral projection or remote viewing. I've had a real interest in this stuff. I was never able to do it though. I could never astral project. I had an issue doing it. Like a psychological issue. I would get paranoid. I would get a little frightened about what's going to happen, like if I leave my body or project my consciousness outside of my own body. What would happen? I mean, they put out that movie called Insidious and made it seem like a bad thing. Like you could project from your body and then bring back something crazy, or something could inhabit your body, or... Well, I found out that's not true. Just simply not true. And I know this for a fact, because 2 nights ago, I achieved an out-of-body experience, an astral projection, on accident. I'll get more into that later, but let me tell you about what happened. I'll give you the overview of my surroundings and maybe a little bit of background on how I try to do this or whatever. So, if you're interested in astral projection, there's a state that we have to get to of relaxation that induces sleep paralysis and something called the vibrational state. I realized at some point that even when I was young, I used to be able to enter the vibrational state almost at will. Like I liked the feeling. And I embraced it, like it helped me go to sleep. I developed sleeping habits and things to put me to sleep that worked. One of which, I tap my foot like constantly. Like I'm always wiggling my foot trying to go to sleep. Like for some reason it's a comfort thing. It just helps me go to sleep. which I figured out later on, people do a different version of that when they're trying to astral project by doing like phantom movements, if you've ever heard of that, like where you try to mentally move your astral arm out of your physical body. It didn't work for me. I'm not saying that's how I astral projected by shaking my foot or something like that. That's not how it worked. So, why I'm saying this is, at the vibrational state, when I knew what I was doing, when I started looking into astral projection and things of that nature, and I also, let me tell you this, I started to listen to these strange but true stories, or true but, scary, terrifying true stories from people on Reddit, just like you and I, that have crazy experiences. Well, I kind of like brainwashed myself, like I was paranoid getting out of the car at night, like thinking a fucking Wendigo was out here trying to get me or something, you know what I mean? So, you can imagine, when I hit a vibrational state and I started thinking about leaving my body and all this crazy shit that I've been listening to these stories about, I get kind of nervous, shock myself out of this vibrational state, out of this deep state of relaxation that I worked so hard to achieve. So, and I mean, like, sometimes even involuntarily break myself out of it, like a random back spasm, like where I'm like, and I jerk out of it, and I'm like wide awake again. I've got to start this process all over again. Well, I had to stop listening to those stories first off, because they were fucking with me mentally. Just because maybe I'm gullible or something, I'm open-minded. I'd like to think that all things could have the possibility of being true, whether it's a Wendigo or it's contacting your spirit guides. And so, I've recently been watching another person on YouTube's channel that has had like a profound effect on me. I didn't even realize it. But the gentleman's name is Ralph Smart. Shout out to this dude. He's like the best thing I found on YouTube. His channel is called Infinite Waters. In parentheses, diving deep. This dude is amazing. Like, so smart, intelligent, wise, like genuine. You can feel something emanating from this guy, like he's trying to help you. So I listen to him. He helps me relax. He helps me get to this relaxed state of mind where I can just lay down and listen to what he's saying and take it in and ponder it. Spit it out if I got to, if I'm not ready for it. So, I was listening to one of these videos. In this video, the gentleman, Ralph Smart, Infinite Waters is his channel. Check it out. Please check it out. I was watching this video. He was in Hawaii, like out on this deck. There was like mountains in the background with like mist shrouding the top of them, palm trees, greenery. It was beautiful. It was pristine. It was like a scene out of a movie or a postcard or something. It was just an amazing view. I was like, wow, dude, like, God, that's crazy that he's there right now doing that, living the dream. So I got to a point in the video, this was late at night. This is how I go to sleep. I watch these videos, right? So I noticed that I started getting to a point where like I was kind of dozing off a little bit during the middle of the video, but I'm stubborn, so I wanted to finish the video so I could start another one as soon as I wake up in the morning, because that's the type of person I am, the obsessive personality. So I tried to stick it out. Well, I had the headphones in. They're not turned up all the way, but they're pretty loud. I like to remain awake. It helps me if I had the volume up a little bit. I heard something. I couldn't tell if it was in the headphones or it was in my actual vicinity or whatever, but it sounded like a woman laughing. And for those of you guys probably don't know this, but I'm engaged. I live in a house I got 3 dogs, a cat, a bird. The house is never quiet. My fiance and I share the house. She was in the room. I was out on the couch. So I thought maybe she was up. She was watching a Facebook video or something and just giggling. So I turned down the volume, not all the way. I turned it down, started listening, didn't hear anything, didn't hear any videos coming from a phone or anything. So I was like, okay, maybe it was somebody in the background, a Ralph's video here. I was listening though, I didn't hear anything. I haven't heard anything the whole video. No one's even walked by him, so I don't know. I just heard it. Well, I started getting really sleepy. Rather than fall asleep and let the video play and miss out on it, I decided, okay, I'll turn it off, I'll pause it, and pick up where I left off tomorrow morning. So I shut down the phone, take the headphones out of my ear. I'm laying there, dogs are up in their room, everything's good, right? I'm starting to relax, and I get to this vibrational state, and I heard something again, really, really faint. Can't tell where it's coming from. I thought I heard somebody talk, female voice. And this time I know, like, it wasn't my chick. Didn't come in the bedroom. I got a little paranoid. I got up, I went and let out my pit bull. I got her on the couch with me. Because for me, it creates a sense of calm. Like, I know, okay, if something happens, something comes here, something tries to fuck with me, my dog is going to let me know, before it happens, is my train of thought. So I let the dog out. I put her on the couch, get her all set up. We're laying down. I start to relax. I don't hear any more noises. I just start relaxing. Good. I'm breathing deep, I'm feeling myself relax, and finally I reach this vibrational state again. And this is, like I said, this is at the point in the past where I shocked myself out of it due to paranoia or some sort of like back spasm that shakes me out of it before I can achieve anything. Well, I started to get that little feeling, that gnawing feeling, the paranoia started to creep in. But I told myself, man, just relax. I just got done listening to Ralph, bro, I'm good. So I started to relax a little bit, even more than where I was before. Deeper and deeper and deeper into this relaxed state. I like got deeper into the vibrational state than ever before because I started hearing a noise like static. I don't know what it was, I can't really explain it, but I started like feeling something. Next thing I know, like, because I'm going in and out of this state where I'm like falling asleep, wake, like opening my eyes or whatever the fuck, that's what I feel like, I'm dozing off. And at one point I remember opening my eyes and I was like, oh man, I got something to do. Like, I felt like I had something to do. I got up off the couch, wasn't thinking anything of it. I went to the kitchen, to the back door, and I opened the back door. I didn't realize, and I still didn't realize when I opened the back door or whatever, that I had projected my consciousness out of my body. I was not actually, like, in my physical, walking out the back door. I figured this out a little later, like even after I opened the back door. So I opened the back door, and what do I see? I step through, and I'm at a lake, right off of a path, a walking path. On the other side of the lake, there's some trees. There's like stone, like cliff face type makeup around the lake with trees. On the side of the lake that I'm on, there's a bench in front of me. On this side, there's trees and, just nature, raw nature out here with this walking path. I didn't look behind me or really pay much attention to anything besides my immediate surroundings because on the bench in front of me was a person. Not a person like you or I, but I identified this being as a person. Someone I could talk to, communicate with. Their appearance was kind of hard to explain. No features, no nose, no mouth, no eyes, no ears, no hair, no clothes, no fingers, no hands. Just a body of energy, light, whatever you want to call it. But in this state where I was, I identified it as a person, someone friendly, a presence that I could talk to. Not only that I could talk to, but I could speak to from my soul. My heart, my interests were all flooding out. Everything that I've been learning about meditation and things in science like, biophotons and DNA and the subconscious mind and the power that it has in creation of man and the universe and human history. All of these interests and things that I've been thinking about and studying and reading up on for years, since I was like 18 or something like that, when I first started to read, or even before that, I think I was like 15. So like 10 years or something like that, right? Everything that I have ever wanted to know about, I poured it out onto this being, like in 1 second, a split second. Everything came out at once. I wasn't speaking to him. I was like informing him somehow inside of me and inside of it at the same time. Now, this is where it gets a little strange, right? As I'm saying and asking things, as I'm asking questions and making statements, the person, I'm just going to call him a person, the person was like almost repeating everything I was saying back to me. And I could hear it. I didn't think anything of it. We were just talking, bullshitting around, shooting the shit. No answers were coming to any of my questions. It was basically like, this is what I do to people every day. I'm just like spouting off crazy shit. But I'm not trying to learn nothing. I'm trying to explain it, right? Or make sense of it for myself. I'm not doing it for the other person's benefit, not in the forefront of my mind. Really what I was doing was, trying to get it for me, which is what I was doing to this thing. So at some point though, at one point it slowed down when this being and I came to, like, we were on the same wavelengths. It just slowed down, okay? And the question that came up was this. And now keep this in mind. I'm asking it the question. It's asking me the question at the same time. The question is, if we live and exist in the Matrix, how in the world am I here and you're here at the same time, experiencing the same thing, the same surroundings and everything? If we're in the Matrix, how's that possible? If this is a Matrix and my mind is creating everything, how are you here? I don't remember creating you. How are we experiencing the same thing, the same Matrix? That was the question. Before I tell you the answer that I was shown and that I had the chance to experience, let's just stop real quick and think about the word matrix. Words are funny, and often, if you look into the root meaning of words, you find out some crazy information you didn't know. Like the guy Ralph Smart, he loves doing this, and he showed me the word talent means sum of money. What? Like the root meaning of the word talent, like the root words, the meaning, it means sum of money. Right? The word matrix has of like Latin root, comes from the word like mattress or something like that. Matrios. I don't know how you say or pronounce it, but basically, when they would talk about keeping an animal for breeding purposes, the matrix was the parentage, like the original of the breeding program. Or if you think of plants, the parent stem. Okay? For human beings and biologically speaking, because there's other matrices like, in math and things like that. But as far as biology goes, and the term matrix, as in we are living in a matrix. We exist within a matrix. The meaning of this matrix, see, this was funny. This is what's funny. Whoever first said that was wise. Probably beyond their years. It was a very intelligent statement and a true statement. But the translation of the word is where things get messed up. Right? When you think of the Matrix from the popular movies, the Matrix, people think of Neo and Morpheus and shit. Okay? But the Matrix for human beings from a biological standpoint is the source of creation. Right? And as far as we know, everything at the smallest level is made up of this stuff called energy, vibration, and frequency, right? But we're all energy. We all were made from the same energy. some of the same materials. Okay? That's what the matrix is my point. The matrix for human beings, when we talk about living in the matrix, we're actually talking about the source of our creation and the source field around us in which we live in. The definition of a matrix is like a material, a substance, a fluid in which something exists. The energy around us is the matrix. Our biology, inside our anatomy, and the things that create us and make us who we are is the matrix. Let's go back to the question. Keep in mind, when I asked the question about the matrix, I was in the thought process of a computer system. The matrix, the plugging in and experiencing something outside of the normal 3D experience. So I asked the question, right? We both asked each other the same question. If we are in a matrix, how am I having an experience and you are having an experience in the same matrix at the same time, experiencing the same thing? How is it possible? You know what happened? Showed me. Showed me how it's possible. Let me tell you how. First thing that happened, not really the first thing, all of this happened simultaneously. I was inside of this person, this other person sitting on the bench. I went inside of them and saw myself from its point of view. At the same time, my consciousness was projected roughly 15 to 20 feet behind me in the air above us. And at the same time, I was looking at myself. And at the same time, I was looking at us and the surroundings. And noticed at this time that everything was a little more vibrant, a little more colorful, almost shiny. Didn't tell me the answer, right? Wrong. What happened was, rather than telling me, showed me something. Let me experience something. Let me bring in the finer details. Like I was downloading something. What it showed me was that that person that was sitting across from me on the bench and myself, we weren't having a separate experience within the matrix. Nor were we separated at all. We are. It was me. And everything around me was me, right? It was a projection of my conscious, my subconscious mind. I was speaking directly to my subconscious mind. That being of light, or however you want, or energy, however you want to describe it, was my subconscious mind. And everything around me, I created subconsciously. Okay? It told me more than that, right? About how this is real in the 3D experience. Things started to speed up again. I'll touch back on that last thing I said. I'll go back to it, okay, don't worry. But the process sped up again, like we were just more the shit that I just realized. I had to spit it out. I had to repeat it all back to him in a way like I was trying to decipher it. Right? Then another slower period of time during this experience happened. And I asked a random question, like a weird question that I wouldn't have thought of to ask normally, but I asked anyway. I said something about, I've been reading a lot. I've been doing a lot of research. And one thing that I hear often that I don't understand is people saying human beings are a multi-dimensional being. Like we are multi-dimensional beings. I didn't quite understand what that meant. And so keep it in mind, we're asking each other at the same time, because now I realize this is my subconscious mind. Now I'm just asking myself to remember some shit that I forgot about. So I know I got the answers. I asked, what does that mean? And what it told me was that, or what it showed me more or less,
like I said, we're not speaking, we're fucking, like, transferring information back and forth at a high rate of speed. So, a multidimensional being, what does this mean in the 3D sense of the word? Like, what I used to think was that means that I can be right here, right now, but what it also means is that I'm existing in the next dimension, and the next dimension, and the next dimension, and the next dimension, doing something different. Like, there's something else going on, like I'm somewhere else, living another complete different reality. Well, that's not what it means to me. What it means is that we have the ability to access multiple dimensions from our current position. From a waking state in the third dimension, we can also access other dimensions. Not by opening portals and wormholes and traveling, whatever the fuck. No, but through meditation, you can slow the conscious mind down until you reach the subconscious and have these types of conversations, or experiences rather, and also you can change your outlook or your perceptions or point of view on certain things around you that will dramatically change your surroundings, and you can live differently and feel differently, more spiritual, or whatever the word is you want to put on it, but everything seems a little brighter and just a little bit more vibrant. You know what I mean? You start to see the beauty of things. That's multidimensional. Or entering a meditative state while, say, you're at work, you can slow down your thinking brain. Because I do mindless work. Same thing every day, same stuff. I don't even really have to think about it, so I have time to slow it down and think. And if I do that, sometimes, not every time, sometimes I can access like this stuff inside me, that lets me know, like, maybe I acted a little irrational about a certain situation, or maybe the emotions I had about a certain situation may have just been weirded out, like I shouldn't have really reacted like that or something. But you can get to these certain points, and other things like astral projection and remote viewing and lucid dreaming. Those are different dimensions, and you can access that. Human beings are multidimensional in the real sense of the word, just not how I interpreted it before. I came out of the experience shortly after. I didn't experience a pop and came out of my body. I didn't experience a slam going back into my body or nothing crazy. I basically came out of the experience. I had tears in my eyes. And I realized what I was saying in my head, maybe even out loud, I can't remember, but I was saying that, like, don't take this weird wrong way, that I needed to die. My ego needed to die. I needed to die to myself, and like the current me needed to disappear so I could find the real me. That not the thing that I had built up for other people or any other reason, just the real me. Do the things that I love to do, that I'm passionate about, and do more of it. And do less of the things that upset me and hurt me and whatever. But anyway, let me tell you, I had this experience. That's basically how I'm going to leave this video. I'm still deciphering certain things from the experience. I'm just putting this out there just so you have it. If you have questions, put them in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to answer any question you put in the comment section, as long as it pertains to the same array of subjects and it's not negative in any sort of way. Let me just tell you some of the effects, though, that this is happening. Like, I realized some things. I have this guy at work. Let me just tell you, I got this guy at work. Basically turns me down about everything that I say. Anything that's not completely logical, right? He just shuts it down, laughs it off, tells me I'm crazy. Well, through this experience, I realized something. That everything around me, every person around me is a projection of myself. When I look at you, I look at me. Just a little bit different version of me. No better, no worse. Just a different version of myself. Right? Your emotions and your feelings are my emotions and my feelings. Your physical body, what I'm saying, I'm not saying that I created anyone. I didn't create you, your body, and now you're standing in front of me. It's not how it worked. But, what I mean is your feelings are my feelings. Your emotions are my emotions. And through this, what I realized was this gentleman at work that at first I felt like was maybe putting me down a little, or like doing it to spite me or something. I don't know. That's how I felt. Now I realize that I should be thankful for this gentleman at my work that does this to me, because it reminds me that at one point in my existence, I was him. I did the same things. And I should be thankful because he's doing that for me. So I don't have to do that again, because I've grown and I've evolved out of that process. Like I started to integrate more things into my life, more than just a purely logical standpoint on things. Another thing that I realized, thinking back to the video from Ralph Smart, again, his channel is called Infinite Waters. Go check it out, please. Thinking back to his video, I saw him in Hawaii, and I realized the backdrop, the shit he was standing in front of, all that good stuff that looked like it was straight out of the movies and on a postcard somewhere, all that stuff is Ralph Smart's subconscious mind. He created that. All of that back there, the beauty that he's surrounded by, he created. Inside of himself, he cultivated all of that. Like, almost like he's vibrating at the frequency of beauty and abundance. That's what he's doing. Like, and I knew it. I could see it. The process of how we bring these things into existence. Let me explain this to you. Everything around us is a projection of ourselves, of our subconscious mind. We take a second to think about the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is just the human being, is it's the strongest supercomputer in the universe, with an internal processor and graphics card that is nothing short of the latest version. It's constantly updating every day and developing and keeping up. You know what I mean? So think about it like that, like this, inside your body you have trillions and trillions of cells. They've never even been able to count, like the true number, I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, but like 37 trillion cells or something, and still counting. There's like 7 trillion alone just in skin cells. The crazy part about that is that each one of those cells in the last 1 second had 100,000 different chemical reactions taking place inside of it. That's your subconscious mind. That's the strongest, most powerful supercomputer in the universe, your subconscious mind. And the crazy part is, it never turns off. It's always learning. It's always downloading and receiving, and it's also always putting out and giving. It can only put out what it's receiving. This is because these things attract each other. Okay? That's what people mean when they say, you are what you think about. You are your thoughts. I am.
or I think, therefore I am. You know, the whole
kit and caboodle, right? That's what all that means. You can do anything. Anything's possible. Put your mind to it. That's what people are trying to tell us. Whether or not we even know the real meaning of it is still in the cards, right? But it's so weird. I look around now and I see my circumstances, I see my surroundings, and I realize that I did it all. Like I made it happen, okay? Just for an example, here you go. This is an insight I gained from my thought process after I had this experience, okay? I work in a city that, there's a lot of money in the city. It's an everyday basis when I'm at work to see Lamborghinis driving by. Like, nothing. People out here are enjoying life. I just work here. I don't live in the city. I just work in that city. This is a product of my subconscious mind. It's not a coincidence. There's a reason why I work where I work and in the city that I work in. Around this money. Myself, I'm not financially free. I'm not, this is my first steps that I'm taking by putting this video out. To put myself out there, to experience new things and hopefully grow and do something other than what I'm doing right now and experience some different experiences. So let me get back to the point. I realized that I've limited myself through my actions and my thoughts. My thoughts limited me to thinking that amount of wealth is next to impossible for me. I just can't get it. I'm not worthy of it. You know what I am allowed to do? I'm allowed to get close by it and peek into that lifestyle and see the people experiencing it. Maybe even experience some of their happiness just by being close, but I'm not allowed to actually grab it because I've limited myself through my thought process and the subconscious memories that I hold. We have to realize the subconscious never turns off. It's always recording. It's always downloading. Like I said, it's always receiving and giving information. Are you aware of it? Are we aware of the information we're giving and receiving and allowing ourselves to receive? I wasn't. No idea. I had no idea that certain things that I say would have such an effect on me in the future. I'm the type of guy, I know it all, right? And I get frustrated with, right, it's a joke, right? But I'm saying I know it all. Of course I don't know it all, right? So, I get frustrated with people that want to talk about simple things, that want to talk about their day or like what they did with the kids last night. I'm sorry if it sounds mean. I just feel like I don't have time for it. I'd rather get deeper. Like as soon as I meet you, I'm ready to get right into the subject. How do you feel about astral projection? Do you like science? Let's talk. That's how I want to start the conversation. I'm not going to tell you what I did last night in my free time. I want to figure out some real shit. Well, like, the thing is, like, I've been programming all of this stuff in myself from a young age, saying things like, the people that aren't interested in the same things I'm interested in, I used to think were just dumb. Like, they're not interested in furthering their education. What's wrong with them? Idiot. He's an idiot. That's what I would think. I didn't know that, like, all my body was hearing, my internal memory, my subconscious, all it was hearing was, you're an idiot. Idiot. You're an idiot. 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 And so I was giving that out. I was receiving that at the same time, and then more of that started to present itself to me. I was surrounded by idiots. Even some of the people that were closest to me, I thought, you're an idiot. The whole time I'm telling myself the same thing, right? I just didn't know that these types of things had this effect. Or if I go to sleep at night and I just let YouTube play in my ear, who knows what I'm hearing and what my subconscious is taking in? And on the TV, you know how many crazy things we hear on the TV? I love rap music. I make music. I write music. I write words. I didn't realize that I was like affirming all of this crazy stuff, right? Like I said, the experience is still new to me. What happened? I'm still deciphering it, trying to figure it out for myself. Another weird thing that came out of this experience was that I like glitched out the next morning on my way to work. All right, this is another crazy thing. People don't, whatever. It might be a coincidence, might not. I say it's a glitch. All right, listen. This is what happened. The next morning, after I had that crazy experience that I've never had before in my life, what did I do? I thought about it. That's all I could do. Still, all I can do is think about what happened to me. It was insane, enlightening, the best experience just about that I've ever had that I can think of. It was a crazy experience. Emotional. I came out of it crying and whatnot. So, I get in my car, I start driving to work, regular route, same shit I do a million times. Not really thinking about it. My subconscious grabs the wheel, takes over, starts driving the car for me. It happens to us every day when we drive. Sometimes we look up after a couple minutes and we're like, dang, I wasn't even really paying attention. You ever stop to think about how you just made it to your destination safely, where most of the ride you weren't even driving really? It's your subconscious mind that kicked in an act of self-preservation that helped you and delivered you to your destination safely. That's how strong the subconscious mind is, right? I was in this state of thinking, deep thought. I was like thinking of the Matrix, you know what I mean? And things loading into my vision and how everything is me, and I'm choosing to see things differently. Like I came out of that experience not even wanting to eat meat anymore. Like I'm not eating meat. All I bought was vegetables and fruits, and I'm making smoothies and stuff. Weird stuff, right? After one experience. So anyway, I'm driving to work in this deep state of thought, not really realizing what I'm doing, or you know what I mean? So I stop at a red light. Light turns red, I stop. And I'm in this deep thought, so I'm like looking around, but I'm like, because I'm thinking so hard and not really there in the present moment, like looking at shit. Well, when I look to my left, I notice that there's two vehicles on the left side of the intersection, both Chevy Tahoes. One's red, one's black, but they look to be like the same year and everything. I'm like, oh, that's cool, same cars, just different colors. I bet that's weird for them sitting next to each other like, damn, it's my car, just different color. Damn, I should have got it black. The other person like, damn, I should have got it red. You know what I mean? So I'm like, whatever. But I'm still like in this weird thought process. I'm not really thinking about that shit. Light turns green. I push on the gas pedal. I start to go. There was some traffic approaching from, the opposite side of the intersection. Now they have the opportunity to not push on the brakes, to just keep going through the light, And as it happens, I see 3 identical black tour buses go by me, straight by me. And so in my head, I kind of woke up a little bit. I was like, dang, that was kind of weird. So I went to go look in the rear view mirror to get another look at the 3 buses, 3 identical buses, not just buses, but black tour buses. Like, what? When I looked behind me in my rear view mirror, there was a gray Nissan pickup truck of some sort. In the lane next to him, there was a gray Nissan pickup truck of some sort. They were identical. Behind them, but still in my vision, there was a gray Nissan, some sort of SUV. And then I completely snapped out of it and was like, whoa, what the hell was that? I'm pretty sure that was a glitch, right? What we talk about is being a glitch. I come up with my own theories on this and like how I feel like we can access this and actually see more glitches in our life. Like if that's something you want to experience, I have a theory on this. I'll get more into it maybe in the next video. Or if you guys seem interested in it, let me know. So I got to cut this a little bit short, but that was my experience, my first astral projection experience. And now, let me just tell you, if you're struggling with any of the same problems I had, such as the fear or paranoia before an astral projection, just let it go. I promise nothing's going to happen. In fact, the exact opposite of what you might think is going to happen is going to happen. Like, it's going to be amazing. Just do it. Trust me. Next time you have those feelings or something, just try to relax even more. Let it go. You can notice that, yeah, okay, I'm a little paranoid, but for what? I'm laying in my bed right now, relaxing.
Easy. Just try to relax even more. All right. Anyone that watches this, thank you so much. I hope to see you back here again. This is going to be a regular thing for me because it changed me. You know what I mean? We'll get more into the details. We'll get more into food and the frequency and the vibrations and all that. We'll get more into that very soon. See you then.